Patrol.
Standing by your side, with my heart on hyperdrive. I'll do what it takes to make you believe. With my heart on hyperdrive, we do what we want, but we're not free. With our hearts on
Hyperdrive. Thursday night Forza Motorsport Spec Racing here live on Twitch TV. Let's get it going. AMS Storm now here on lap number 34 of 34, jumps into the top spot. And here comes Maverick now, going to make a run to the inside on Drex, perhaps missing his mark. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are in the world, and welcome to Xventure Live here on Twitch TV. I am Dustin Moore, and I will be your MC, your host, whatever you want to call me here over the next couple of hours as we've got week number 2 of Season 47 Forza Spec Racing Series in the 2017 Ford F-150 Raptor race truck. It's been a marvelous start to the action here through week 1. Fully anticipating that continuing here in week number 2 as we head out to Laguna Seca and then Homestead, the Super Mini Circuit. That'll carry on to week number 3 a week from tonight. At which point that will mark the halfway point of the season. And sadly, we will not have coverage here on this channel for week number 3, but I will be back for week 4 and 5. Let's go ahead and take a look at the race standings or the season standings entering week number 2. Because we've only had 1 week thus far, there are no dropped points from this. Everything you see is what everybody has earned to date. LS Subaru, with the 2 victories there in week number 1, 50 points each race for a cool total of 100. Cratrum at 92, Audrex at 88. Born as Ghost, you see highlighted in gold, 87 points. Found their way into a not only just a top 3 finish, but a P2 finish. There at Road America, that was race number 2 of week 1 action. LS Barney was 79, Cuda 93 at 76. Couple of 66s there for Chaos Fox in Slow Motion Fire. Patches Riley at 60, Modern Weapon at 52. Then you've got Jube, Viral Mist, Woozy, and Fear the Fun on the other side of the leaderboard. Taking a look at the lobby, a little sparse in terms of the population here. I think they may be working out a few connectivity issues. I know Audrex is in the Discord trying to get things sorted out there. With regards to his connection, not yet in the lobby. What we do have in there thus far is, LS Subaru, well, Patches, Riley, Chaos Fox, Cratchit, Barney, Born as Ghost, and Jube. They may be trying to restart the lobby here. Soul Motion Fire telling me, I will be hosting the race lobby if you want to jump over. All right, fair enough. So I will exit this lobby, and I will be looking for Slow Motion Fire here on Xbox Live Services, whether you've got it for the PC or the Xbox One, the Xbox Series S, Series X. You too could be a part of the fun here in FM4 each and every Tuesday evening, 5 weeks per season. Head on over to reddit.com/r/FM4. There is the link that Nightbot has so kindly provided. Click on that link, go introduce yourself, get your vehicle set up, and hopefully the drivers will see you out on the track. The organizers and the drivers see you out on the track in week number 3. I hope to see you out there week number 4 and 5 to close things out, and then we'll head into season 48 with a brand new vehicle, different setup, different schedule of races. They go quick, 5 weeks, just a little over a month. But I tell you, it goes fast. About 2 hours of racing each and every evening. Looking at the schedule here, we see where we've come from. Watkins Glen, Road America, which I had mentioned there in week number 1. Laguna Seca here tonight, 18 laps. Homestead Super Mini Circuit for 42 laps. That is a special race here this evening in the sense that because it does not have a pit lane, the Super Mini Circuit does not have a pit lane. That will be a fuel and tire race only. And by that I mean There will only be fuel depletion, tire degradation, but even that shouldn't really factor into things here in that 42-lap race. What that does peel away is any damage that would be the result of contact, any contact between drivers out on the track. All right, let me look for Slow Motion Fire here. Join their lobby that they've got going on. By the way, I've got a predictor rolling right now, and only one person is one viewer has cast their channel points, saying that there will be one driver with a dirtied qualifier lap here at Laguna Seca. Cast your vote using your channel points. They are absolutely valueless, pointless points here on Twitch and the Xventure channel. Just a fun way for you all to get involved and kind of share your thoughts on who might win in tonight's race. Well, in this case, I'm asking you how many drivers will have a dirty qualifier lap, if any. If any. All righty. Well, there we go. We've seen the schedule, we've seen the standings, and now as I take a look in the lobby, we've got Slow Motion Fire, Fear the Fun, LS Subaru, racing for the first time here in the Forza Spec Racing Series. It is Colossal CC. Colossal, welcome to the fun here, the action tonight, and best of luck to you. LS Barney, Modern Weapon, Viral Mist, Born as Ghost, Cuda93, Jube making a return here after the debut in week number 1. SGR Chaos Fox, who has returned after a short hiatus outside the FM4 crew. Craytrim is here, and then I think we had one other driver that was in the lobby just a moment ago. Patches Riley is now there, and looking for Audrex at some point. We'll have Audrex, I'm guessing. Some sort of connectivity problems that Audrex seems to be having. Slow Motion Fire showing Audrex as offline, so we'll see. We've got a couple of minutes here before the top of the hour, and sometimes it gets delayed. The start gets pushed back just the slightest bit, a few minutes there off the top of the hour. I did mention that I won't be available for the broadcast in week number 3. Sadly, these things happen from time to time throughout the season, as got other commitments going on. But I will be back for week 4 and 5. You better believe that. We'll have an updated leaderboard for us to take a look at the beginning of the broadcast, and then we'll be making the march toward week number 5, which is the finale. And it is going to be one heck of a finale there, as we saw on the schedule. 90 laps out at Long Beach. Long Beach, the familiar stomping grounds and territory for the trophy trucks. Well, I don't know about this 2017 Ford F-150 Raptor, but trophy trucks in general have some familiarity, have a history out at Long Beach. Born as Ghost with the subscription, 17 months. I don't know why now my audible alert is delayed on this scene in OBS. I'm going to have to figure that out. I haven't even heard it yet. Sure enough, there it is. There's the pit siren. Usually that comes up a lot quicker, and we'll get you the proper thanks here as we hop into the race with the banner at the bottom of the channel. For everybody else who's watching here, if this is your first time checking out Xventure on Twitch TV, and you enjoy esports, you enjoy watching virtual motorsports, I promise you, you're going to have a good time watching what we've got lined up for you here tonight. 2 races, again, for about a combined total of 2 hours. And if you happen to enjoy the content as we make our way through the evening, then please click that follow button. It's the very most I ask of any of the viewers. Just click the follow button. You can lurk in the chat. You can say hi in the chat. You can root somebody on. You can ask me questions. Whatever, as long as we keep it about a family-friendly level here, everything will be all good all throughout the evening. And then I'll be live again on Friday, and we'll talk a little bit more about the weekend broadcasts that are happening here before I am out for the subsequent days. So I'll have more content on here. So even if racing is kind of your gig, kind of your thing, but not necessarily the sweet spot for you, maybe you like other things in the world of gaming, well, there's a possibility that I may have some of that content for you as well. All right, let's see here. We are getting ready to go. Very good. We've got Audrex and Grem. Grem is back as well. Very nice. It's good to see some familiar names make their way back to the Forza Spec Racing Series. That's how you know this is a good league to be a part of. They didn't leave because they didn't like people that were a part of the crew. They left because they needed a little bit of a break, and then they make a return. All right, here we go. Born as Ghost going to be the first one off the line here for qualifying. 3 laps of qualifying goes pretty darn quickly. That first one, obviously, as we see the drivers on the grid, a standing start lap, and then we'll have the 2 flying laps going through the Andretti hairpin here at the 2.24-mile Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca. And I do say Mazda Raceway. Yes, I know this has been changed over to WeatherTech, but for the purposes of Forza Motorsport 7, Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca is kind of locked into a time capsule here. Now through turn, I believe this is number 4 here, the right-hander, a tricky right-hander, very little camber to work with. Now coming up to the Mother's Bridge, polishes and waxes, and then into the left-hander to make the charge up the hill here. Into another tricky corner, which does have some camber, but it has quite the little dip indentation here on the low line toward the curbing. Then you come out, try to avoid the kitty litter as you head up the Ray Hall straight underneath the Pepsi signage and heading toward the infamous corkscrew. And infamous meaning very famous. Just to clarify. Underneath the bridge here into the sweeping left-hander. Quite possibly one of the longer left-handers I know on a race course. And you have the downhill momentum with you at your back. And unfortunately, we get the loading screen there. Does that mean we lost somebody here on the first lap of qualifying? Into the final left-hander is Born as, pardon me, Born as Ghost with the Duff Beer livery. That's a Simpsons reference, right? Duff Beer underneath the bridge. And let's go ahead and take a look at the stats there in the bottom left. Cratrium at a 145.105. Let's go to LS Barney. LS Barney shows as having right now the 7th, check that, the 2nd quickest lap time now into turn number, I think this is actually 2 and 3. I may have incorrectly labeled corner 4. I forgot to draw out my track map here today. I'm telling you, I need a binder that just has all the tracks that I can just go back to and have a dry erase marker. I just haven't done it yet. If anybody wants to hook me up, I'll give you my P.O. address, P.O. box. You can send me a binder with all of Forza Motorsport 7's track maps with a some sort of cover, a laminate cover or something, and I'll use dry erase to make notes. I try to be prepared, folks, but man, the workday is long, and it's oh so fun to hop in here on a Tuesday with the FM4 crew, but I don't get a lot of time for preparation. Up the hill here, the 2nd qualifying lap toward that corkscrew is LS Barney. And down the corkscrew. 450 horsepower, which is, if I am correct, I do believe that is the base horsepower for this truck in Forza Motorsport 7. This is the Raptor race truck variant. This isn't just the Raptor version, which really I can't notice a big difference. There's only about a 1 or 2 point performance index disparity between the two. I think maybe the race truck just has sheds a little bit of its weight. Let's go to CUDA 93 now with the 4th quickest qualifying time. And Cratrium still holding on to that pole position, a 141.179 now at this point. LS Subaru has both victories in week number 1. That being said, he did not go uncontested this time around. With Cratrium in race number 1 out at Watkins Glen, and then out at Road America, a little bit less troublesome for Subaru. Had patches Born as Ghost in 2nd. Out there, Road America, Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. And now here we go, the third and final qualifying lap. Let's see, did anybody else wager any channel points? A few of you did. We had a few more entries into the predictor. Nobody said that there would be a clean qualifying lap for each and every driver. The votes come in with one person casting channel points saying that one person would dirty a lap, one person saying that two people would dirty lap, and two people saying three or more would dirty their qualifying out here. I say qualifying, dirty their lap. I mean their best lap will be a dirty lap. And now across the line comes Kuda. And Cratrium able to do one better here on that third and final qualifying lap. A 1:41.051, so knocking about a tenth of a second off of that time. LS Subaru showing us having the second quickest time. And as Subaru comes across the line, Subaru will not best Cratrium this go around. Let's go to Soul Motion Fire here in the Stay Puft livery. I love it. I love it. Who said organized beer league racing can't be fun for the viewers? The competition is fierce. The liveries are on point. I'm just here to say words. Seems like a decent way to spend a Tuesday evening. All right, last driver coming across the line here, and we'll be out of the lobby. And as a matter of fact, we'll go ahead and, yep, there it goes. I was going to say we'll beat the lobby to it, but there we have it. Cratrium at a 1:41.051. You've got one dirtied qualifying lap out of Born as Ghost at a 1:42.768. That'll put Born at the back of the pack. Unfortunate after having a P2 qualifying time at Road America and finishing P2. What a difference a race makes. Kuda 93 at a 1:43.088, 1:47.3 there for Jube. Patches Riley with a 1:44.258. Barney at a 1:43.161, a 1:43.881 for Fear the Fun. LS Subaru with a 1:41.144 for Odd Drex. By the way, LS Subaru, that's good enough for row number 1, P2. SGR Chaos Fox at a 1:44.5, a 1:44.8 there for Soul Motion Fire. Grim at 1:49.6. Viral Mist at a 1:46.8. Colossal, and that's a dirty lap there by Viral Mist. And Colossal with the debut here in FM4, a 1:52.6 dirtied as well. And Modern Weapon, unfortunately, getting disconnected from the lobby and unable to post any time whatsoever. Just a bunch of OTS there. A DNF, so Modern Weapon 2 will be at the back of the pack. But that comes in at a total of 3 dirtied qualifying laps, or at least 3 qualifying laps as each driver's best here at Laguna Seca. Let's start another. Who will win? This is the easy one, right? Who will win at Laguna Seca? Let's go LS Subaru, who you all may think, oh, that's the shoe-in. Let's go Cratrium. Actually, you know what? With all due respect to Cratrium, let's put Cratrium at the first option. LS Subaru with the second option. Then let's also throw in there, let's get Barney in there. LS Barney. And we'll put SGR Chaos Fox in there as well. Why not? There you go. We'll let that one run for 30 minutes. Go ahead and use those perfectly pointless channel points to cast your wager. Or you can wait toward the end of that 30-minute window. If at the 30-minute window you decide you want to throw down your points, that's all fine and dandy there as well. Cratrium says, should be another tight race up front. It certainly looks that way. I mean, you've got yourself a great qualifying time. I didn't notice who qualified P3, but as Soul Motion Fire gets the grid organized here shortly, I'll be able to start calling those names out in the order. I'm hoping that with the next Forza Motorsport title, possibly with proper qualifying implemented into online races, into lobbies like these, that the UI gives us the option to actually sort things accordingly, how we would like to see it here for broadcast. All right, well, there we go. We've got qualifying in the books. If any drivers would like to join me in the interview, the driver's spotlight, as I call it, hop into that queue for interview section there in the FM4 Discord. I'll be happy to chat with you. For everybody else who has joined us here on a Tuesday, again, thank you so much for your viewership, and hopefully you'll plan on hanging out here for quite a while. DWM Frog there in the chat says, winner, chicken dinner. One of the two who said that 3 or more drivers would have a dirtied qualifying time. Born as Ghost says, wish I could stay. I was sandbagging to win the prediction, but couldn't keep it in the lines. Oh, wish you could say I was sandbagging to win the prediction. Gotcha. I thought you were saying you had the split, but Born as Ghost is here for the long haul this evening. Good. And it's not a long haul. I'm telling you, the 2 hours, by the time the racing gets done, I'm always hopeful there would be more. It goes by so quickly. Never is the case, but 2 races, fine. I'll take that over none whatsoever. I'll take that over no races at all. I was telling you, 450 horsepower here in the Ford F-150 Raptor race truck. It also has 510 foot-pounds of torque, coming in at a hefty 4,093 pounds of vehicle curb weight, which is actually a little bit lighter, believe it or not, than our Cadillac XTS. Well, I shouldn't say believe it or not, because it's pretty easy to believe. But the big old F-150 Raptor here, a little bit lighter by about 200 and some pounds than our Cadillac XTS there in season 46. All right, looks like the driver is going to be pretty quiet here. I mean, we'll get a few of them after the race concludes. Some folks, after qualifying, they want to keep their head right. They want to stay focused at the task at hand, and so they don't go for an interview right away, but rather wait till the end of the race, which is fair enough. Fair enough. As a matter of fact, everybody's pretty much readied up here. Love to see. We've got 15 drivers. The count is starting to go back up again here. Absolutely love it. I love the fact that we've got both our veterans and our newbies here. Those will be annotated by an orange number board. So those drivers that we see on the track, if they have an orange number board, that means this is their inaugural season. This is their debut season with the Forza Spec Racing Series. All right, row number 1, we've got Craytrim and Subaru. It is CUDA93 there. My apologies to CUDA. Did not get the nod there in the poll, and I completely botched the poll in the way that I formatted it too. If none of those drivers who I listed win, then all the points just go back to everybody. CUDA93 shares row number 2 with LS Barney. All right, here we go. Yeah, I goofed up that predictor. My bad. My bad. Good thing the points are worth nothing. Oh, no. Right off the bat, we've got a loading screen, and it looks like they're bailing. I'm going to take this opportunity then. I'm going to take this opportunity while the drivers are bailing, and I'll let you all look at the schedule there. I'm going to fix the predictor. I'm going to fix this predictor, so if you cast a vote, then prepare to recast. Who will win at Laguna Seca? We'll have LS Subaru. No, Craytrim. LS Subaru. CUDA93. LS Barney. SGR. Chaos Fox. Or other. There we go. There we go. Just pretend that previous predictor never happened. All right, you're taking a look at the schedule there. Yes, Laguna Seca and Homestead Mini Circuit, Super Mini Circuit, coming up after this one for 42 laps, 18 here at Laguna. Next week, 1 week from tonight, same time, 8 p.m. Eastern, I will not be able to broadcast Week 3 racing, but it'll be out at VIR, the West Circuit at night for 11 laps, then Le Mans Bugatti Circuit for 16 laps. Week number 4, I will be back, Sebring full for 13. Maple Valley in full reverse for 16 with a chance of rain. And then in week number 5, we've got the 90 lapper out at the Long Beach East route, which I think is shorter than what trophy trucks normally run out at Long Beach, right? They usually run the full circuit, don't they? Or do they only run the East route? Nonetheless, that's what we'll see in about 3 weeks' time. All right, the drivers are back into the lobby. I think they had to just maybe sort somebody out on the grid. Perhaps somebody was placed in the wrong position. But now all should be well. And as soon as we get the countdown, I will flip it back over to the game screen, so you all can see what is going on. FM4, their home on the interwebs is reddit.com/r/FM4. All the details, everything you need to know to be a participant is loaded up over there. And even if you just want to be a part of their community as a spectator, they're happy to have you. They've got the subreddit there on Reddit, and then they also have a Discord channel, which you can be a part of and take part in some of the conversations that happen in the weeks leading up to each season, and then throughout each season being there and banter it up. Have a little fun, a little chit-chat, a little smack talk. It's a good time. Good people. All right, I think we're almost there. Getting close. I think maybe we have an addition here to the lobby. Oh, Big J Bishop said that Bourne disconnected. Okay, so we lost Bourne there. But am I wrong that we have... No, we have 15 drivers who are qualifying. Or we had 15 drivers who qualified that are in the race. Perfect. Everybody is there, all ready to go. Cuda 93 and Barney, as I was mentioning there before we had the false start on row number 2. Fear the Fun and Odd Drex in row 3. Patches, Riley, and Chaos Fox in row 4. In 9th and 10th is Slow Motion Fire and Jube, respectively. Cratrim really holding them on the line there. Kick the tires, light the fires. Week number 2 here in the Forza Spec Racing Series is now underway after qualifying here at Laguna Seca to make the charge down the hill toward the Andretti hairpin, turns 2 and 3. Cratrim in the Portal livery is going to lead the way. LS Subaru in P2, Barney in P3. Then it's Cuda and Fear the Fun, 4th and 5th. Followed by Audrex, Patches, Riley, Chaos Fox, Jube, and Slow Motion Fire, 6th through 10th. Let's go to Barney in 3rd position as they hit the infield straightaway here at Laguna Seca. Now start to head up the hill on their first full lap of 18 in the F-150 Raptor race truck. Underneath the VP Racing Fuels bannered bridge, people bridge, up the hill, the Ray Hall straight, and into the corkscrew. As Barney is watching on from P3 right now, Cratrim Subaru going through the corkscrew. The drivers have been told, try to keep it between the white lines. I asked the question there in week number 1 as to whether or not, being that they're in the trucks, if they were going to be able to go ahead and just blaze through the corkscrew. The answer from Slow Motion Fire was a definitive negatory. Let's go to LS Subaru in 2nd position and right on board here for the start of lap number 2. Perhaps a little bit of late braking there by Cratrim on the entry into the hairpin. Gave Subaru the opportunity. Just couldn't make it happen there on the low line. Cratrim stays out in P1. We've got one vote cast so far saying that Cratrium is going to win the race here at Laguna Seca. Use your channel points there. However many channel points you'd like. You could put 1 to as many as you possess to wager a guess. Side by side, up the Rahal straight they go. Cratrium Subaru, 1 and 2. Into the entry of the corkscrew, LS Subaru is going to have the inside line at least through the first half. And through the second half, he puts the block on Cratrium, the bed of that F-150 Raptor, out onto the front bumper of Cratrium. And now the switch of position has occurred here at about 3/4 of a lap in of lap number 2. The charge up toward the start-finish line. And LS Subaru, for the first time in this race, leads a lap. This is where Cratrium locked him up a little bit late, had a bit of tire smoke. Out the backside, looking a lot more adjusted, well composed on that one. Looks to the inside a little bit here, lining it up for turn number 4. Nothing doing there. Underneath the Continental Tire Bridge into turn number 5. The fans look on, the virtual digital sprites. Here on a very sunny and what looks to be a hot day here in Monterey, California. As long as Laguna Seca has been in Forza Motorsport, it has never featured any weather variant, and I don't even think, with maybe the exception of the original Forza Motorsport, there might have been a very late afternoon, early to mid-evening version of this track at this time, but now here in Forza Motorsport 7 and for the more recent iterations, we've had this version. We've got a kind of a cobweb afternoon version where it's a little bit more gloomy, and then a kind of a pseudo sunset. I wouldn't say it's a full-on sunset, and it's still quite bright. 3 different skybox variations here in Forza Motorsport 7. Here at the end of lap number 3, beginning of lap 4, Subaru holds onto the charge, and it was a couple of laps ago that Subaru made that pass around Cratrium. At the corkscrew, as a matter of fact, as we see here on the X-Venture replay. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We got the bells and whistles. Replay, driver interviews, green to checker coverage. You'd be hard-pressed to find anything as fun in the racing genre here on Twitch to watch than what we've got going down here tonight. What's up there, Ghibli Giblets? I tried Da Bomb, a really hot sauce as seen on TV. Oh gosh, an as seen on TV hot sauce? Oh no, I'm not so daring. You're brave. I feel like I might breathe fire. What did you put it on? Through the corkscrew, Subaru leading Cratrium on down. Let's go ahead and move our camera back to the a little bit further back at the back. We've got Barney all by himself there in 3rd position. Audrex in 4th, Fear the Fun in 5th. Let's go to SGR Chaos Fox, who is in 6th position. Oh, and we've got a driver off the track. That's going to be Fear the Fun. And Fear the Fun staying off the track into the left-hander. And now Chaos Fox is off. I don't know if Chaos was adjusting for Fear the Fun, and as a result has now fallen back 2 positions, letting Kuda and Jube go by, and letting maybe a generous turn. There goes Chaos Fox into the rear left quarter panel of Jube. Jube able to keep the front end of the F-150 Raptor race truck pointed in the right direction toward the start-finish line, and across the line they go. 7th, 8th, 9th, Jube, Chaos Fox, slow motion fire into turn number 2. And now we've got a 4th truck, make that a 5th truck in the mix here. in a battle for, well, sixth is starting to disappear there, that being Kuda 93. Jube is leading the group of 5 here. Jube, Chaos Fox, Slow Motion Fire, Patches, Riley, and Born as Ghost back there in 11th position. Let's go ahead and ride on board with Born as Ghost. Right up onto the rear bumper of Patches Riley is Born as Ghost as they hit the final right-hander of the track here on lap number 6. We've got all kinds of action here from 4th on back through 11th. This is what we like to see. Audrex there in 4th. Let's go to Fear the Fun in 5th position and still out on the track. Fingers crossed, toes crossed, everything that the AMD issues that Fear the Fun says has been plaguing him do not rear their ugly head. Here comes Kuda 93 on the inside. Gonna try to make the pass there on Fear. We've seen Fear off into the dirt a few times. Here on the back half of the track, Fear is gonna stay up in P5. Audrex has got them in their rear view, or in his rear view mirror, as they now hit that tricky no camber right-hander turn number 5. What a race we have here tonight. And the battle for first wages on. Cratcham in second, LS Subaru in first. Subaru has the first 2 wins of the season out at Watkins Glen and Road America. Then we've got LS Barney, who's out all on his lonesome there, P3, before you've got the gaggle here, the largest of the bunch, the mid-pack. Again, 4th through 11th. Then as you look back a little bit further in 12th position, well, actually, Patches Riley in 11th has fallen back quite a bit. Viral Mist in 12th, Modern Weapon in 13th, Rem in 14th, and Colossal CC making a debut here in F4, back in 15th position. Now into that sweeping left-hander, Audrex continuing to lead them down. Quite possibly the most consistent driver by far here in F4's history. Audrex going to do everything possible to hold on to that P3 position and keep Fear the Fun on the backside of the tailgate. Into that left-hander. Here comes the charge. Again, all 450 horsepower opened up here on the front straightaway. 510 foot-pounds of torque. Brings the F-150 Raptor race truck to C500 Performance Index here in Forza Motorsport 7. Up to the Andretti hairpin. Turn number 2 and 3. Lap number 7. Back to Born as Ghost in 10th. Ghibli Giblet says, it's a show named Hot Ones. Okay, I've heard of that. I've always wanted to try it. Today was the day. Now I'm looking to who may have a Tums or a Pepto livery in this race. I don't think we've got one of those, but perhaps your medicine cabinet does. I have heard of the show. I don't think I've ever seen an episode. But at least it's not like a... when you said as seen on TV, I was thinking like infomercial. like some hot sauce that you saw at 1 a.m. in the morning. Yeah, whatever channel that would run on. But a little bit of credibility coming off of that show. There you go. Born as Ghost on the inside of Slow Motion Fire. Makes the beautiful pass. Gets that front right tire up into the air on the downhill portion there of the slalom that is the corkscrew. And for now, Born as Ghost moving up to 9th position after disconnecting from qualifying and having to start at the back of the pack. Let's go to Jube in 7th position, one of the newcomers here in the Forza Spec series, sporting the Dinoco livery. Jube trying to redeem himself here after a pretty decent showing there for the first time here in FM4. Week number 1, 52 points in total, trying to get to the left-hand side, or the top 10 drivers here in week number, well, not week number 2. Well, it is week number 2, but in season 47. Now, there is a drop week rule in place here in FM4, so 5 weeks worth of racing, 9 races in total. Whichever week is your worst performing in terms of total points, that's the one that gets dropped, and the driver who has the most total points at the end of the season is the season champion. History, at least recent history, would tell us that LS Subaru is looking to chalk up a sixth straight championship. Nobody has ever had more consecutive championship victories than LS Subaru. Here comes Jube with Chaos Fox to the inside. Jube wide out of the corkscrew. Now into the left-hander. Jube has the advantage on the low line, and so Chaos Fox has no choice but drop back down. Tries the switcheroo move, exiting the left-hander. Unable to line it up on the inside on the final right-hander. Let's see what here happens on the final left-hander as they go by the pit lane entry and back up toward the start line. Jube, at least for now, P7. Here comes Chaos Fox on the outside. Down the stretch they come. Bumper to bumper. The rear bumper of Jube. The front bumper of Chaos Fox. Into the Andretti hairpin. They've got Cuda 93 in their sights. No contact made. Very clean racing all throughout the evening thus far. Spectacular racing. Windswept Dragon, is the chat family friendly? This channel is very family friendly there, Windswept. Good to see you. Windswept, a part of the Turn 10 Studios family of moderators. I believe you're a part of the team, the Turn 10 team. Is that right, Windswept? Welcome. Good to have you here. Thanks for piping up in the chat, and hopefully you'll be able to stay a while. We've got a loading screen here. Sadly, that is likely to mean we've lost a driver, and gosh, if it is, fear the fun. That's going to be bad news. We're going to stay right here until, oh, it was Patches Riley. Patches Riley with a DNF here about midway through. Just a mod in a race, Marshall. They can't afford me, says Windswept. Fair enough. Fair enough. No, thanks for all you do. Windswept, I know you probably don't know me, but I'm aware of you. I'm a longtime member here of the Forza Motorsport community, or the Forza community, I guess we should say, with Forza Horizon about these days. But longtime moderator there in the Forza forums. And then, of course, if you guys catch the Forza monthly streams or any of the streams that happen there on the Forza channel here on Twitch and YouTube, Windswept helping to keep things in line there as well. Underneath the start-finish bridge, which is just aft of the start-finish line, goes Jube in P7. Fear the Fun in 6th, still out on the track. Let's go quickly back up to the top 2. It is going to be, it is LS Subaru with 100 points entering week number 2. Out in front, Cratrim in 2nd. Back in 3rd, all on a racing island of his own, is LS Barney, representing the Light Speed Esports team. Audrex in 4th. I say Barney's representing the Light Speed team, but of course we've got LS Subaru up there as well. Cuda in 5th, Fear the Fun in 6th, Jube in 7th, Chaos Fox in 8th, Born as Ghost is 9th, and Slow Motion Fire, they're in 10th position. Let's see, I think you've got a few more minutes left here in our channel predictor. Who you think might win this race? Will it be Cratrim? Will it be Subaru, Cuda, Barney, Chaos Fox, or somebody else? Use your absolutely valueless, have no monetary value whatsoever. Use those channel points to cast your vote and have a say in who's going to win this race, and we'll see if you are correct. You got about, 9 minutes remaining? 9 minutes remaining here in this 18-lap race. Into the Andretti hairpin. Once again, Cratrim, very commendable performance here. Able to keep pace with LS Subaru, which has not been easy for any one driver to do. over the last few seasons. Cratcham has certainly been in that P2 position over the last few seasons, but to be this close, that close, as we see riding on board here with Cratcham, has not been typical. Has not been typical. Let's go back to Kuda93 in 5th position. Back behind Audrex, who continues to hold down 4th position. P4 here on lap 11. An infinite number of thank yous are due to you all for tuning in here on a Tuesday evening. I hope you're having a good start to the week. Coming off the holiday weekend for those of us here in the States. A holiday weekend of sorts. But hoping to bring a little bit of a smile to your face, maybe a chuckle here, a chuckle there. Enjoying some racing here in Forza Motorsport 7. There goes Fear the Fun. I think he got both wheels there of the F-150 Raptor up in the air. Perhaps those front wheels outside of the white lines, but was able to keep the vehicle largely in check and on the track. As now here through the dirt comes Kuda93. Jockeying a position here for P5. All in an attempt to have a run at Audrex in P4. Oh, and by the way, with my picture there on the screen, I'm Dustin Moore. Thank you so much for being here. And if you're new to the channel, please click the follow button. It'd be greatly appreciated. It's the very most I ask. And for those who go above and beyond, like Born as Ghost earlier, 17 months, subscribe to the channel there. There's the proper thank you to Born as Ghost. 17 months. Subscribed here to the channel. For those who wish to support the channel just that little bit more, it helps me out with paying for music licenses so that I can properly contribute to the revenue of those who are far more creative and far more talented than I am to put music together that I can then stream here on the channel, and an assortment of other production things that I put the money toward. All proceeds here from Xventure on Twitch go to, well, after Twitch takes their cut, go toward making the experience for you all, the viewers, that much better. At least I try. If you got some thoughts, you have some feedback, you have some input, hit me up here on Twitch with a whisper. You can also hit me up on Twitter. Let's see if this works. There you go. You can hit me up on Twitter. Same name there, Xventure, EXEVENTURE. Always open to feedback. I never take it personal. Let's go ahead and give a little bit of love to our P3 driver right now, LS Barney, who is probably thinking, is there anybody else out here? Am I in my own lobby at this point? I see that I'm P3. I see the dots on the track, but I have no visibility. I have no view of anybody's Raptor out here on the track except for mine. LS Barney with the return to FM4 in 3rd position. Born as Ghost, 8th. Oh, a little bit wide on the entry to turn number 2. Let's see if that opens up the door for Jube. Jube looking to the inside, unable to make the pass there through turn number 3. Here we go, lining it up for turn 4. The right-hander back toward that Continental Tire bridge. I mean, it's enough when you're racing and you've got cars in your rearview mirror, but you've got the 2017 Raptor, Ford F-150 Raptor, just beaming in your rear view mirror, your side mirrors. Of course, a lot of the drivers might be hooning their vehicles in third-person camera, but the point being the same, that the trucks, they're quite intimidating out here, but have done one heck of a job. And I know I'm giving credit to the trucks when it's really the drivers. The drivers have done one heck of a job keeping these cars on the track, keeping the racing competitive, keeping the racing clean. GG's to everybody out there. We're only a little over 14 laps in as our race leader LS Subaru and Cratcham in 2nd cross the start-finish line. Running through the field once again, Subaru, Cratrim, Barney, Audrex, Fear the Fun, Born as Ghost. Well, I take that back. There was a little glitch of the timing there. Audrex in 4th, Fear the Fun in 5th, Cuda93 is in 6th, Chaos Fox in 7th, Born as Ghost is 8th, Jube is in 9th, Soul Motion Fire in 10th, Viral Mist in 11th, 12th is Modern Weapon, Grim in 13th, Colossal CC with a debut here in the FM4 series in 14th. We did lose a driver earlier, Patches Riley, the 15th of the 15 who started. Back to our race leaders. Cratrim here in 2nd as they come off the corkscrew for the 14th time. The back end of the F-150 sliding out a little bit. We talked about trail braking with a few of our drivers, namely LS Barney there in week number 1. It seems maybe a little bit less prominent, perhaps the slightest bit of trail braking there into that final left-hander. But the back end of the F-150 is looking a lot more composed than, say, Watkins Glen. Watkins Glen, where there are several cambered corners that I felt like we were watching some Baja racing or autocross with the way that they were whipping the back end, particularly through the loop there out at Watkins Glen. Now into the right-hander here for the 15th time of 18 laps. That 19th is just a cool-down lap. 450 horsepower, 510 foot-pounds of torque, 4,093 pounds of vehicle curb weight. C500 is the performance index here in Forza Motorsport 7. It has been a while since we've been up into that A and S-Class territory, especially S-Class. S is the maximum that they will go for any vehicle, any one vehicle here in the Forza Spec Racing Series. So maybe if C-Class isn't necessarily your sweet spot, perhaps you like a little bit more power, a little more get up and go, then these hefty F-150s. Do know that when Season 48 comes around, it'll be a brand new vehicle, a different vehicle with a different schedule of racetracks. So get signed up, be a part of the fun. They're doing this all the way up into the new Forza Motorsport title coming in 2023. So no better time to get involved than now. Get yourself refamiliarized, acquainted, or perhaps you haven't even really gotten into multiplayer racing, but you see how everything is so well organized, but at the same time, it doesn't matter your skill level. Your skill level does not dictate your eligibility here in FM4. Colossal CC, as an example, just joined here today, and they are running their own race. If you race clean, that is all that is asked of you, week in, week out. Into turn number 2 and 3, Cratrim to the outside of LS Subaru. Having a look at P1 there for a moment, but I have to believe Cratrim he's maybe picked out a corner or two here on Laguna Seca and says, you know what, this is where I have the advantage. This is where LS Subaru perhaps is a bit slower than I, and that's where I'm going to take a shot. Was it there at turn 2 and 3? We'll have to see. We'll keep the camera on them for at least another lap here. We'll flip back a little bit further into the pack just to see any of our other battles for position taking place, and then we'll return here for the final lap and a half out here at Laguna Seca to see how this one shapes up. Back up the hill, the Ray Hall straight. We've got lap traffic up ahead. That looks like Grim there in 13th position as they approach the corkscrew. Maybe Cratrim even assessing Grim's position on the track and say, you know what, maybe over here is where I typically run my line, but because we've got some lap traffic, perhaps I adjust for that early. And now Cratrim, unfortunately, is going to go side by side with Grim here into the final left-hander. Grim perhaps on the brakes a little bit early, allowing Cratrim to drop it back in toward the inside, the apex there. And now here we go for the start of lap 17. It is LS Subaru leading Cratrim. Quickly, we jump back. Let's go to Cuda93 in 5th position. Audrex continues to hold on to P4 at the moment. And then you've got Fear the Fun, who's still out on the track as they finish up their lap number 16. Oh, what fun this one's been. And I'm telling you guys, the Homestead Super Mini is going to be something exciting here. It is our next race on the schedule tonight, 42 laps. And because there is no pit lane, they will race that one with only fuel and tire damage only. There will be no mechanical damage, no collision damage, just fuel and tire degradation, which will not play a role in that race. All right, well, they look like they're pretty comfortable where they're at right now. Single file formation. Audrex, Kuda, Fear the Fun. A little bit further back, you got Chaos Fox in a battle with Born as Ghost for P7. And then Slow Motion Fire and Jube round out the top 10. Then you've got Viral Mist and Modern Weapon in a nice little battle there for 11th. And then Grim on the opposite end of the track, Colossal CC, who's actually getting encountered now with our race leaders as they approach the final corner. And that's where we will go to finish out the race. A look at Cratrim in P2. A white flag drops here at Laguna Seca. The final lap, lap number 18, starts now. Up the hill, into that little dog leg, turn number 1. Back down the hill toward the Andretti hairpin. Here in the desert, turn number 2, turn number 3. Cratrim right there on the back bumper. Not able to go side by side with Subaru that time around. Now out of 4, up to 5. Maybe Cratrim has a go here at the corkscrew. That's really going to be his best opportunity, as the next corner coming up here is going to be a little bit hard braking, and then the left-hander heading up the Rahal straight. That's always a bad idea to try to make a pass there. And so, yeah, let's really look at the corkscrew here as the best opportunity for Cratrim to make a move up to P1 and secure a victory here in Season 47. Up the Rahal straight. Subaru on the brakes. Cratrim looks to the outside, maybe lining it up for the apex here on the downhill. Not going to happen. About a car and a half or a truck and a half lead there. LS Subaru has over Cratrim. Just 2 corners left to go here. Week number 2, race number 1. And unfortunately for Cratrim, nothing happening there. Maybe looking to the inside on the final corner. Not going to have an opportunity there either. Brings it out onto the extended area beyond the curbing. And across the line, LS Subaru picking up a 3rd victory here in Season 47. Quickly, let's go back to LS Barney, who's already going to have P3 secured. Let's go to P5. That is currently occupied by Kuda, who is tucked between Audrex in 4th and Fear the Fun in 6th. Into the final corner, Fear the Fun to the outside. Can he make it stick and have a run here at Kuda? He gets the dirt underneath the right-hand tires. No shot. Kuda is going to finish in 5th. Fear the Fun gets 6th. Not to forget Audrex up there in P4. Coming across the line now in 6th. Well, I already mentioned 6th. That's Fear the Fun. Born as Ghost gets 7th. 8th will go to Chaos Fox. Slow Motion Fire in 9th position. Jube with a top 10 finish there in 10th. Viral Mist gets 11th, followed by Modern Weapon, Grim, and Colossal. Just one disconnect here. Patches Riley back there. I believe that was lap 4 or 5. GG says Windswept Dragon. Yes, GG's indeed. Well done The Ford F-150 Raptor continues to prove that it's a capable race vehicle. I know a lot of folks say, hey, get these off-road vehicles out of Forza Motorsport. Yeah, like me, I would love to see some off-road tracks to take some of those vehicles out onto. Perhaps we'll see some of that in the new Forza Motorsport title. But the way that they have these Raptor race trucks tuned up here, C500 for Season 47, the drivers seem to have found their grips with the vehicle. The competition is really, really close from all the way up front, even though the front of the pack is pretty much dispatched the rest of the rest of the vehicles. You've got that great battle up front between LS Subaru and Craytrim, a huge mass there at mid-pack. And then, of course, you've got some of the back markers there doing their thing, running their own race, getting their skills up, race after race, and seeing if they can't transition into the next season with a little bit more knowledge, a little bit better understanding of how to be quick around these tracks. Speaking of quick, we're going to take a real quick break here as we hit the intermission point of tonight's festivities. We've got our second race of the evening, the Homestead Mini Circuit, coming up right when we return. I mean, we'll probably talk to a driver too here in the driver's spotlight. We'll get qualifying going, and then we'll head out to the Homestead Super Mini Circuit for, gosh, what is it? 42 laps. That's going to be a humdinger. As always, those of you who are subscribers to the channel, thank you again for your support. You'll get some music. Be sure to spam those emotes there in the chat. Have them dance on the screen. And then for those of you who are followers of the channel, or maybe you just joined us and you haven't yet followed the channel, as you're still trying to get a feel for whether or not you like the content here, completely understandable. You're going to see some ads. I promise you, I don't do this because the revenue is great. It really isn't. I take a small portion of the proceeds from Twitch from these ads, but what it really does help is with anybody who joins us a little bit later on in the broadcast, they don't see those pre-rolls, and instead they're able to get right into the action. So that is the benefit. That is the perk that I can afford at the consequence of having to run ads here in between races. But guess what? Nobody misses a thing. You don't miss a single lick of action. You're watching the Forza Spec Racing Series here live on Twitch TV. I'm Dustin Moore. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Xventure here live on Twitch TV. Week number 2, our first race of the evening out at Laguna Seca has come to a conclusion, and now we prepare for qualifying out at Homestead. The Super Mini Circuit, which I don't think, at least in the time that I've been broadcasting, nearly 20 seasons now, coming up in season 48, nearly 20 seasons, I don't believe I have commentated a single race of FM4 out at the Homestead Super Mini. We've been to the Oval, we've been to the road course, but the Super Mini track should be something interesting. It is a long straightaway through the infield before they make a turn out onto the back end of the Miami track, the Miami Oval, down that back straightaway, and with a lot of speed carrying into that toward the what would be turn 3 on the Oval, they go ahead and bring it back into the infield and loop it back around toward that infield straightaway. So a very short circuit, hence the reason why we'll be doing 42 laps in total. There is no pit lane, and as such, there will be no need to stop to repair any damage to the vehicle caused by collisions or anything like that. Instead, they'll only be turning the tire degradation and the fuel depletion on to simulate that. Should not have an effect on the race whatsoever unless somebody's camber or suspension settings are just woefully set up. All right, but before we get ready for the 3 qualifying laps, let's go ahead over to our driver's spotlight. Let's bring in LS Subaru. Subaru, you've won 3 now of the 3 races here in season 47, but that one there at Laguna Seca, you were unable to secure the pole position in qualifying. You were back behind crate trim for about a lap and a half. Did it have you nervous at all, or were you pretty well composed and confident that you were able to come away with the win?
Yeah. The season is starting to become a lot more tougher. I It was a really tough race to keep Cratrium behind. Luckily enough, I was able to make a move on lap 2, and then I was able to defend for the whole race. But it's not easy defending from Cratrium. It's yeah, it was really tough. The car feels good, but I don't seem to have that 1 lap pace to get myself a pole position, but I'm able to, I at least have the race pace to at least battle for a win. I think it'll be probably the same for Homestead as well.
Got it. Talking with LS Subaru, who is not only winning the first 3 races here of season 47, but has secured the championship of the last 5 seasons here in FM4, which is just absolutely bonkers. There's been no other driver who's been as dominant in back-to-back seasons like LS Subaru has. So when you mentioned that you didn't get the top qualifying time out at Laguna Seca, and you actually didn't even have the top qualifying time out at Watkins Glen, if I remember correctly, does that discourage you any, or does that just kind of motivate you that much more?
Well, I suppose, I mean, I don't let it get to my head too much, because this is a pretty tricky car to drive, and it seems that Cratrium's able to get the pace out over a lap in qualifying, but I'm able to I think I probably just have more I would say a little bit more consistency in terms of race pace, which is why I'm able to battle for wins easier than I am able to battle for poles.
First 3 races here of the season: Watkins Glen, Road America, and then just now Laguna Seca. We kind of really flipped the script here in race number 4 of the season out at the Homestead Super Mini Circuit, which I was just telling the viewers, I don't think I've even commentated a race out at this track. It seems like it demands a different driving style. What does that look like for you?
Well, I think it's going to be a similar story to Laguna Seca, where I'm not expecting to get pole position, but I am hoping that I'm able to keep up with Cratrium. It's a this is actually quite a difficult track to get a fast lap out of.
Yeah.
And Cratrium during the practice sessions has been showing really good pace, and yeah, I'm just gonna have to see if I'm able to keep up.
And last one here for you, LS Subaru, before you get back into the lobby and ready for qualifying here at Homestead. The driving has been cleaned from the front of the pack all the way to the back of the pack. I can't possibly attribute that to the vehicles themselves, because a lot of people might think of the F-150 Raptor in a multiplayer lobby, private or public or otherwise, and might think, oh gosh, this is going to be a ram fest. Things have been spectacular up to this point. Is there a little bit of you that is slightly concerned, though, following qualifying, heading into that first corner here at Homestead?
No, I don't think there will be any altercations between Cratrium and I or the rest of the field. We do know how to race close and clean, so I don't expect there to be any dirty driving of any form. We're gonna race hard. Well, of course, we all race hard, but we also race clean. You saw that in Laguna Seca. Both Cratrium and I were, we were very fair on each other in terms of battling and keep giving each other space on the track, and I'm expecting the same out of everyone for this race.
Congratulations, 3 victories of 3 races here in Season 47. Best of luck to you, Subaru, in qualifying at Homestead.
Thank you.
All right, there you go. Your 5-time champion here, the Forza Spec Racing Series, consecutive champion. Dating back to Season 43, all the way to where we currently are. As a matter of fact, if I take a look at the list of vehicles that LS Subaru has won a championship in here, it includes the Pontiac Trans Am. This would be one of the older models, not one of the LS7 models or anything like that. Subaru with the Impreza WRX STI, the Mazda RX-3, the Abarth 695, the Cadillac XTS Limousine, which was selected by the FM4 racers overall heading into Season 46. To say that Subaru has done it in any configuration of vehicle really imaginable is pretty darn close. Maybe we're just shy of a few sub supercars, like just high performance sports cars. But yeah, if Subaru gets the win here in Season 47, the championship here in Season 47 sets them up for selecting the vehicle there in Season 48. All right, slow motion fire. Did I say LS7, by the way? The motor in the kind of the later model of Pontiac Firebirds and Trans Ams was a why am I saying LS? Was it LS7? Somebody correct me on the motor here. I don't know why. It's not LS1s, right? Maybe it is LS1s. Jeez. One of the more popular engine conversions into any other assortment of sports car, and I completely forget which model, which variant it is. All right, qualifying is underway here as I try to figure out the motor situation. Not that it matters any, because here we are, F-150 Raptors on the back straightaway at Homestead in Miami, and here we go. Like I said, drop off of the onto the apron and into the infield, into the set of left-handers very quickly positioned, and you don't have a lot of wiggle room there on the outside. A lot of tire barriers. You do have a slight little right-hander bringing you back toward the start-finish line. And there you go. Jube, at least out in front, leading the pack. But in terms of top qualifying time, LS Super with a 45.882. By the way, folks, here in Season 47, trying something a little bit new to promote the series over on Twitter. Every once in a while, I'm posting up a little quick clip inviting folks to come watch and even participate here in the FM4 series. Follow me on Twitter, Xventure, EXEVENTURE. And then that way you can stay up to date on all things FM4 and other content that airs here on Xventure. Down the back straightaway here on the third and final qualifying lap, LS Subaru at a 43.013. Cratrium sliding it into the, and I think he just picked himself up a dirtied qualifying time there. By the way, I asked you all in the predictor who was going to be the second quickest qualifier. The second, not the first, the second. And right now, it is, in fact, Cratrium, just behind Subaru with that 43.013. LS Barney, third quickest. Patches Riley, fourth. Good to see Patches Riley back in the action, despite having that disconnect there in that first race of the evening. I know that can be so discouraging, and you're just like, man, I give up. Let me go do something else for the rest of the night. But to get back out on the track and finish out the week, even if this happens to be Patches Riley's drop week, that's good sportsmanship right there. All right, qualifying has come to a head here. Out at the Homestead Super Mini. It's a 0.96 of a mile, 9/10 of a mile track. And as we take a look at the qualifying times of our drivers, Cratrium, like I said, unless something has changed, that should be the second quickest qualifying time there with the 43.195 to LS Subaru's 43.013. 44.378 there for Jube. Well done. I think that's good enough for maybe row number 3. Chaos Fox at a 44.4. 45.7 there for Cuda 93. Modern Weapon with a 44.776. Grim with a 48.573. Fear the Fun with a dirtied. Oh, Fear the Fun's got some work cut out for him after finishing in 6th there at Laguna Seca. A 44.147 dirty. 44.478 there for Slow Motion Fire. Viral Mist at a 46.829. 44.1 there for Odd Drex. Colossal CC with a 49.009. 43.7 there for Patches. LS Barney at a 43.5. And Born as Ghost will join Fear the Fun at the back of the pack with a 43.667. 15 drivers of the 15 we saw there in race number 1 of the evening participating here in the second one. Again, I'm thrilled to see the numbers trending up a little bit. I knew we had Colossal, who was going to join us here in week number 2, unable to participate in week number 1. And you too can be a part of the action. It doesn't matter if now you're out of the running of the championship. This is a great opportunity while we have the 7 spots available on the grid for you to come join us here in FM4 and get yourself kind of familiar with the way that the races are organized, the way that everything transpires over the course of a racing evening. And then that way in Season 48, when the points slate is wiped clean and everybody starts at the goose egg, you too can be vying for the championship. Just head on over to reddit.com/r/FM4. And of course, if you got any questions, if you have thoughts about tonight's racing, if you have thoughts about the broadcast, feel free to drop those there in the chat or hit me up again on Twitter, Twitch with a whisper. I'm trying to think if there's another way to connect me. I think I might have my email down below. Maybe not. But anyway, find me if you've got questions that you'd like to keep out of the chat, and I'm always happy to entertain those and give you a good response, a timely response at that. Let's see if there's any drivers in the driver spotlight. I don't see anybody there. Of course, if anybody would like to jump in real fast, I promise I won't waste a lot of time. I know Slow Motion Fire likes to try to keep things going at a pretty good clip here for the drivers so that we end things in about that 2-hour window. So if you've got those 2 hours starting at 8 p.m. Eastern on a Tuesday, then why not? What do you got to lose? It's Tuesday. It's Tuesday. Nothing happening. Nothing happening at all. I will be talking about what's to come here over the weekend on the channel. Then, unfortunately, next Tuesday, I won't be able to cover the Forza Spec Racing Series week number 3, but I will be back 2 weeks from tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, same bat time, same bat channel, here on Xventure for week number 4, and then 3 weeks from tonight for week number 5, the finale, out at Long Beach for 90 laps out at the East Circuit there at Long Beach. That's going to be a lot of fun. My email is there. Cool. Good. I can't remember sometimes. Sometimes I'm like, how many methods, how many channels do I want for people to be able to reach out to me? So sometimes they'll be up and then I'll pull them down. I don't know. I'm weird like that. All right. All of our drivers are readying up. All 15 of them are there, and it looks like we are dangerously close to our countdown here for the final race of the evening out at the Super Mini Circuit. I'm excited just seeing the action. It's very fast paced. Things are going to move rapidly here. Granted, it'll be 42 laps. But we saw there, it was what? How long was each lap? As I draw a blank, what was it? 43, 45 minutes? 43 anywhere from 43 to 48 minutes, depending on the skill of the driver. And again, that's probably one of the best things that I could possibly tout here about the Forza Spec Racing Series. It doesn't matter if you're fast, doesn't matter if you're slow, or if you're like me, somewhere in between. There's a place for you here in FM4. You're not going to be shunned because of your skill or lack thereof. But rather, it's a great place for you to build up your skill set, running in not a public lobby, a private lobby, but at least organized racing where there are consequences if a driver comes in and acts up, and that's the way that everybody is kept in check. That each and every race of the season is kept manageable, kept clean, kept fun, exciting, and gives a good racing experience for not only participants but for us all, the viewers. LS Subaru and Critcham, they're on row number 1. LS Barney and Patches Riley, row number 2. Row number 3 goes to Chaos Fox. And I think maybe, I don't know. I didn't see who it was. Let's go to the lobby. Here we go. Final race of the evening. It's going to be a barn burner, a good one. Oh, we got somebody in the back doing reverse donuts. That's Fear the Fun back there clowning around. Kick the tires, light the fires. Race number 4 of season 47 here in the F-150 Raptor race truck is underway. LS Subaru, our pole sitter coming out of the 3 laps of qualifying, leads them into turn number 1 and out onto the back straightaway. Back there in P2, it's Cratchum who qualified P2, followed by Barney, Patches Riley, Audrex, Chaos Fox, Slow Motion Fire, Cuda 93, Jube, and Modern Weapon. That is your top 10 at this very early stage of the race. Off of the back straightaway just that quick, and into the infield they go. LS Subaru leads them around for the start of lap number 2. Let's drop back to Barney here. Actually, let's go a little bit further back and let's just see how chaotic things look here from the view of, say, Grim. Let's ride on board Grim's F-150 Raptor. As we were riding on board there with Grim, you could almost sense the back end of his F-150 Raptor sliding out there. 450 horsepower, 510 monstrous foot-pounds of torque. Yet they are pushing a 4,093 pound truck. So that's super fast, but if you don't modulate your throttle correctly, kick those back tires and the truck bed out quite a bit. They did throw the spare wheel there you see in the truck bed. They threw that in there, add a little bit of weight to the back end, which helped bring it down off of C500. And then once they added the rear-wheel drive conversion, yes, they have converted to rear-wheel drive for this season. That's what brought it back up to C500. There goes Grim to the inside there, Modern Weapon to the outside. Or excuse me, that's Jube in 9th, pardon me. In the battle for 9th position. A nice trail of cars here down what I'm going to call the front straightaway here. It really is the infield straightaway. And now back into turn number 1, SGR Chaos Fox in 7th position. Chaos Fox finishing out our race there at Laguna Seca in 10th, 11th, no, 9th. I'll just throw out some numbers and eventually I'll be right. Finishing behind Born as Ghosts and Fear the Fun out at Laguna Seca. Nice trail of cars as the camera shakes from the thunderous roar of, I believe these are turbocharged V6s here. The twin turbo V6. EcoBoost. Let's go to Slow Motion Fire in 6th. Stay Puffed. Marshmallow. Livery. Oh, Audrex up onto the side of, what was that, Born as Ghost there? No, Patches Riley. Patches Riley catching a bit of the kicker panel, the rocker panel there, I should say, of Audrex as they slid into turn 3 here on the Super Mini circuit and down that front straightaway. There's not even a start-finish line to denote where the start-finish line is. It's not painted on the ground. I think it's a little bit of a miss there by turn 10. We should have something there to visually mark the beginning of a lap and the end of one. There goes Kuda to the inside. That was Kuda to the inside there in the distance. SGR Chaos Fox dropping back to 8th. Well done by Kuda. See if we can't get that one back up on the X-Venture replay here in just a moment. Now Audrex, this is a familiar sight. A little deja vu here as he leads Patches Riley in the Pizza Planet F-150. Oh, I love that. I love that livery. That's a good one. Slow motion fire there in 6th. Chaos Fox in 7th. Yeah, Audrex leading the pack that stretches all the way back to, if I extend it, it goes back to 9th right now. Let's go to that replay there, and if you spot it like I did, we'll see Kuda 93 there slide to the inside of Patches Riley. Patches Riley there in that yellow. As a matter of fact, that's who we have the camera on. And then, and Patches Riley off pace in a real-time action. But then here comes Kuda. Oh, are we going to see it? Or is it clipped off the screen? I think it was clipped off the screen. Well, so much for the replay. But Patches Riley, now again, will have not sustained any damage to the vehicle, whatever incident it was. I did have my eyes off screen looking at the replay, making sure everything was going right there. I'm a one-man band here on the production side. But something did happen to Patches Riley that has brought him well off the pace. And now running in 13th position. Did not sustain any damage, though, because they have turned that off. There is no pit lane here on the Super Mini circuit. So they've foregone the possibility that you could damage your motor or any of your aero or your transmission or your clutch. Just tire and fuel wear. But again, that should have no impact to this race. Here comes Kraytrip to the outside, puts a couple of tires there on the curbing, and down the front straightaway. Oh, there is a start-finish line. Wow, I completely missed it. It's there. Okay, my bad. I apologize, turn 10. You have it there. Kraytrip making the pass on LS Subaru for P1 here at the start of lap number 10. By the way, I know we already acknowledged Born as Ghost with the 17-month subscription earlier in the broadcast, but Jubance with the follow earlier. And at some point that will show up on screen here. I don't know what is taking so long for Streamlabs to display the stream alerts, but it will show up here with a little air wrench sound. Wait for it. Wait for it. All right, this is crazy. This is taking way too long. I don't know. I'm gonna have to figure out my Streamlabs. Something's goofed. We'll keep the camera here on our race leader, Kraytrip. Start of lap number 12 for right now. And then we'll go look at a few of the other battles smattered across the track here in just a moment. Oh my gosh, that took forever. Jubance with the follow. Some point earlier in the day, before I was even streaming. Thank you very much, and if you're enjoying the content here on X-Venture, please click that follow button. Makes it easier for you to find the channel when I do go live moving forward. there for a long time. And while it's not garnered the highest number of viewership, and that's largely because I've intermittently streamed over the years with life events that have happened that take precedent, but either way, here we are. We're staking our claim on Tuesdays. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your Forza foes to come hang out with us and possibly even join us out on the track. There goes Grim off the circuit as our race leaders make their way by. Whiskey Canuck says, is anyone else impatient for the next Forza Motorsport? Yeah, I'm eagerly raising my hand. Not anxiously and not really eagerly. Emphatically raising my hand. You can't see me right now, but yeah, this is the longest that we've gone in between Forza Motorsport titles. I am optimistic. I am hopeful that that the extra development time is going to lead to something positive for the franchise. I know there's a lot of people who are very impatient and have expressed kind of their frustration on how long it's taken, but at the same time, there have been a lot of things that the community has said that, hey, Turn 10, you're missing this. You're not doing this. You're not doing that. You're not doing the other. And so Turn 10, seemingly under the leadership now of Chris Sasaki, who's kind of stepped up and been more of a face of the studio as of late, has said, you know what, we've taken a look at our development process, and we've deemed it necessary to take this longer stretch of time to really make Forza Motorsport, what we would, I guess, know as Forza Motorsport 8, but it's not the official title, to make it better and maybe in line with expectations of what you all have. We saw a little bit there in the Xbox Games Showcase a few weeks back at the beginning of June. It was a nice little teaser of some of the things, some of the features. It was very graphic focused, which I know probably irked a few folks. I personally would have loved to have seen, you know, what maybe more of the broadcast / organized events side of the next title will look like. I was a little bit involved on early conversations with the team about, you know, what would benefit broadcasters like myself, and then also league organizers. There was a time where I was putting on quite an assortment of races with all kinds of rules and stipulations that really tested the Forza Motorsport lobby feature and functionality. And so I too am very interested to see what they have devised based off of all the feedback, some of the testing that they've done. There's a community of us who have had a little bit of a hands-on early in the development process, so we'll see. Spring 2023 seems a ways out, but it'll be here quick. It'll be here sooner than we know it. Continue to watch our race leader, Kratrium, who has about a 2-truck lead now on Subaru. And unfortunately, Colossal CC telling us there in the chat that they are now out of the race, sadly. 15 drivers started. We are now down to 14. But Whiskey Canuck, yeah, what are your thoughts? How optimistic or maybe pessimistic, admittedly, are you with regards to how long it's taken and what maybe will come of the next Motorsport title? And really, I've shared this belief that this next Forza Motorsport title will probably have a similar life cycle, or it'll be the main standing title for several years. I don't think we'll ever see that 2-year iteration, 2-year release frequency that we had become accustomed to from the original all the way to Forza Motorsport 7. I think those days are gone, and the next Forza title will be a long-winded one that has content for years and gets iterated upon, gets tweaked. It's definitely a more agile, capital A, agile methodology approach that the team seems to be taking, where you release a product, you receive constant data inputs, feedback from your end user, and you adapt and evolve. Across the line here, lap number 20 of 42. And if you're just now joining this is quite the development that happened about 5 or 8 laps ago, where Cratrium, the winningest driver in Forza Spec Racing Series history, has 10 championships to his name, formerly known as CTOM, just hasn't done it consecutively like Subaru has. Cratrium leading this race, which is week number 4 here, or excuse me, race number 4 of week 2 in season 47. Take that alphabet soup of numbers. Well, I guess it wouldn't be an alphabet soup, right? It'd be take that Arabic symbol soup of numbers and make of it what you will. And out of turn number 1, Cratrium leading Subaru out on the back straightaway. All right, let's go ahead and drop back a little bit. LS Barney, we're going to put a little bit of camera time, or give it a little bit of camera time, a little bit of love here to LS Barney. Was in P3, uncontested, racing all by himself there out at Laguna Seca, and seems to be largely true here at Homestead. The only difference being is that it is such a short track, a 9/10 of a mile circuit, that Barney is seeing other traffic in and around the vicinity, but just kind of racing all by himself at the moment. Same could be said for Audrex in P4. Audrex finished in 4th out at Laguna Seca, trying to go back-to-back on that. Again, I can't stress it enough. Easily one of the most consistent, if not the most consistent driver here in FM4 over the span of many, many seasons. Probably the most consistent over the last 6 has been LS Subaru, far and away. 5th is Born as Ghost, Soul Motion Fire, having a great run in 6th, where currently holding off Jube in 7th. To the inside looks Jube in the Dinoco car. And Soul Motion Fire in the Stay Puft livery is going to run out wide. That's going to allow Soul Motion Fire to carry a little bit more speed out here onto the back straightaway. And as a result, Soul Motion Fire holds on to P6. Jube in P7. Colossal saying, if the game is good, no need to rush another out in 2 years. I agree. Oh, and Slow Motion Fire goes headfirst into the tire barrier on the entry to the infield, and that allows Jube to squarely take ownership of P6. And now you see a little bit further back there in 7th. That's going to be Fear the Fun. Slow Motion Fire back out on the track, able to make a pretty quick recovery there. In 8th, SGR Chaos Fox in 9th, Kuda 93 in 10th position. And now our race leader, Cratrium, approaching a back marker, and traffic is actually going to become more of a thing here for Cratrium and Subaru over the next 3 to 5 laps here. As you can see, a big slew of cars there on the lower left map, the radar. That's going to have to be something they deal with, and it's not going to be easy here on the Super Mini circuit. There goes Subaru to the inside and is able to swipe away P1 from Cratrium, at least for now, and onto the back bumper of P13. Modern Weapon. Here comes Subaru down the front straightaway. Modern Weapon's going to stay to the outside, giving them the inside line, and Subaru says, no thanks, I'm going to stay there. Here comes Cratrium to the inside, coming up to up to T1, turn number 1. And you see the New Zealand flag, the Australian flag there of Subaru. Yeah, driving in the future. Again, I have to say the dominance is because Subaru knows the future, which is an advantage unlike any other in motorsport. Already a day ahead of everybody else. A day and a lap. Here comes Cratrium right on the back bumper, a couple of wheels off into the grass is Subaru, and now they've got some curbing to work with. And across the line for the beginning of lap number 26, LS Subaru has regained control of the lead. Woo! I was originally anticipating a fall or holiday 2022 release. I was too, Whiskey Canuck, until I saw how slow the expansions were rolling out for Forza Horizon 5. And so Forza Horizon 5, its 2 expansions to include the one that's coming up here in July, which is the Hot Wheels first expansion of Forza Horizon 5. That's going to help be filler content. The next expansion, I'm guessing, will come out around the holiday. And then spring of 2023 is when we're anticipating Forza Motorsport. If they evolve it between releases, that was new in Forza Motorsport 7 compared to the previous versions. They actually changed things with it, race regulations, etc. Yeah, we did see a little bit of that, a little hint of that from the team there. Through the even the early part of Forza Motorsport 7. I mean, some of the feedback that the players gave to Turn 10 about the loot boxes and all that really generated some quick change. And then, like you said, we saw race regulations for the FRC, the Forza Racing Championship, the last season that has been run, and we haven't seen an FRC since. What else did we see? We saw the drag demo, the drag strip demo. Was there not the introduction of the drift tire compound and drift suspension in Forza Motorsport 7 as well? So quite a lot of things happened in FM7 throughout its existence until they finally said, all right, we're moving on definitively to the next one. Put all our effort, all our eggs into the new one. All right, here come our race leaders, LS Subaru, approaching lap 30. They just started lap 29 here of 42. That 43rd lap you see is a cooldown lap, not an actual competitive lap. What else do we have in there in the chat? Traffic is really hard in this circuit, man. I backed out because I knew I'd end up being a nuisance. Nah, Colossal, I definitely encourage you to stick with it. I know you've heard me harp on this time and time again. We got drivers of all different skill levels. I think as long as you're paying attention to what's happening around you and you make decisions that you know can be predicted, like on a straightaway, you just kind of move out of the way. You just slow down, come off the throttle a little bit. You don't have to run yourself off the track. You don't have to, like, hit the eject button or anything like that. I definitely encourage you to just stay with it, stick out there, because really, I mean, how else are you going to build up that experience? But good to see you out here for week number 2. And good to know you say 100% you will be back. I'll be back. Very good. For anybody else who's watching, head on over to reddit.com/r/FM4. All the details of Season 47 are posted there. And yes, even though the first 2 weeks of the season are about to come to a conclusion here at the end of this one at Homestead, get involved. Week 3, Week 4, Week 5, then when the season comes to an end, all the points will be wiped and go into Season 48 ready to go. Ready to go. I'm Dustin Moore. You're watching X-Venture here on Twitch TV. Having a good old time here tonight. The racing has been out, flipping, standing. If you're enjoying it, please click that follow button like Jubance did a little bit earlier. Born as Ghost with that subscription. And hope to see you back here again soon. I will have to be out for week number 3, unable to broadcast, but I will be back for week 4 and 5. I'll talk a little bit about that more here at the end of the broadcast. Here is LS Barney with me painted on the side. He's sponsoring himself, is LS Barney. One of 2 drivers in the Lightspeed Esports team. Wow, that actually triggered quickly. Colossal CC with the Twitch Prime subscription. There we go. Thank you very much, Colossal CC. I greatly appreciate that. And again, all the proceeds that come to me after Twitch takes their generous cut goes into the production of the broadcast. I've got a day job. I take the proceeds and try to make the viewer experience better. And so if you're all about supporting that and going with a monetary or even a Twitch Prime subscription is very, very generous of you. I think, as a matter of fact, there you go. Man, I've got my commands somewhat memorized here. Let's go ahead and pull the camera off of Barney here. We're watching Barney go around, just trying to give a little bit of love to our P3 driver who's done a phenomenal job here this evening and returned to FM4 here in Season 47. So good to have Barney back. but one of two of the LS drivers out there, the other, of course, being LS Subaru. Oh, look at the traffic jam. Bumper to bumper, the avenue's packed. Cratchum right there on the rear tailgate. I'm not even going to call it the bumper anymore. It's just the tailgate there of the F-150 Raptor. Looking every which way to see what the line is going to be here into turn number 1. It's Subaru to the inside with Patches Riley, who's having a great run. I mean, having a wonderful race there in P9, but still getting lapped. It just happens on these shorter circuits. Just happens to be a thing. But by the way, yes, Nightbot putting the link in there. You can use your, if you have Amazon Prime, if you don't already know this, I think a lot of people probably know this by now, but if you have Amazon Prime and you link your Amazon account to your Twitch account, and don't worry, Amazon owns Twitch, so you're not telling Amazon any more information than they already have. But if you do link your accounts, then you get one, I say free subscription. Of course, it's caveated with the fact that you're maintaining your Amazon Prime subscription. You'll get one free sub to use here on Twitch. And if you'd like to use it here like Colossal CC just did, then awesome. Well, Cratchum unable to make use of the traffic, at least that bundle, that gaggle of trucks there, to find a way around LS Subaru, but they've got another trio of cars up ahead. As I run through the field, it's Subaru, our race leader as of about 10 laps, 10, 12, 15 laps ago, somewhere around there. Cratchum is in second, LS Barney handedly in third, Audrex in fourth. Born as Ghost is in a pretty comfortable spot there at P5. Then it's Jube in P6 with Fear the Fun back maybe about a second behind in P7. Kuda 93 in 8th. Patches Riley in 9th. Soul Motion Fire is your 10th driver. Then it's Viral Mist, Chaos Fox, Modern Weapon, Grim in 11th through 14th respectively. Don't go anywhere, folks. Even when this race wraps up, we'll talk to our drivers here in the driver's spotlight. I'll preview what's ahead here on the channel, and of course, any other thoughts or comments you may have, do drop them in the chat there. We'd love to get your thoughts on the racing here this evening. Which I'm telling you, they took the Cadillac XTS limo and made a hero of it, and now they've got this F-150 Raptor, not even getting off-road with it, and the thing looks like it was meant for the track here. Rear-wheel drive, 450 horsepower, 510 foot-pounds of torque, 4,093 pounds of vehicle curb weight, C500 performance index here in Forza Motorsport 7, so it is pretty manageable, I say, as the commentator, not as somebody who's actually behind the thumbsticks. But here they go, beginning of lap number 38, and we'll come back to our race leaders here. Actually, no, let's keep it here as Cratchum continues to kind of close that gap a little bit here. Heading into turn number 1, the front discs a-glowing here on the Raptor. Heavy on the braking, not locking them up. Not locking them up, but eating them up, that's for sure. And I do appreciate all the commentary there in the chat throughout the evening. The more you guys are involved in the things that are going on here and you're lending your thoughts, the more excited I get to know that the numbers are like true viewers, not bots. And to have the great racing that we've got, it just all culminates or comes together as an awesome way for me to spend my Tuesday, and hopefully the same for you all. Colossal saying there in the chat, can confirm the F-150, she's slidey, especially playing on a wheel. Oh, so Colossal's on a wheel. Okay. Very cool. Very few drivers opt to use the wheel. Very few do. Let's go to Fear the Fun in 7th, trying to chase down Jube. Jube, again, who entered week number 2 in 11th position overall on the leaderboard. Trying to make a better showing here in week number 2. Not that week 1 was bad per se, but certainly is aiming for the top 10 overall on the leaderboard, and even higher if possible. Trying to hold off the stalwart that is Fear the Fun, a longtime competitor, not consistent like Audrex is, not consistent like Cratchum is, but Fear the Fun definitely a formidable foe out on the track when he's got the vehicle working for him. Oh, a little bit through the grass. He does have a tendency to do that as well. That was definitely maybe a little bit of a corner cut there. Oh, Fear. We'll see if we talk to Fear here in the driver's spotlight. We'll call him out on that one. Awesome to see Fear with no issues today. Yeah, Fear suggests that there is apparently some AMD issue. I don't know. I'm an NVIDIA PC card user myself, and I've had no problems here in Forza Motorsport 7, but apparently it's a quote-unquote, by his words, a well-known issue for AMD cards to have not like an internet connection, obviously, because it's a graphics card, but a some sort of game processing issue that just results in a crash, game crash. You saw there in the background of Fear the Fun, our race leaders are closing in. It's crazy. I mean, Fear the Fun, again, another very quick, very competitive driver, and yet here comes LS Subaru and Cratium down the backstretch, almost side by side. They were side by side through turn number 1, and now they're kind of shifting position. From the inside to the outside is Cratium. From the outside to the inside is Subaru. And now there they go to the inside. Fear the Fun maybe getting a little bit onto the grass there, touching grass, as he allows our race leaders to scoot on past without any incident. As a matter of fact, I mean, apart from the Patches Riley and Slow Motion Fire situation, I really haven't seen any other problems out there on the track. I see it looks like Patches Riley maybe doing a little tank slapper there in the background. Colossal saying, oh, it's a driver issue that Fear is reporting. Yeah. Oh, and that's it. That was it. I totally lost track of which lap we were on. Shame on me. Lap 43 has come to an end with LS Subaru out in front just barely. Just barely. Almost gave it up there in the final lap or two. Cratium getting, for the second time here this evening, a P2 finish. Barney in third. Audrex in fourth. And Born as Ghost, Jube in fifth and sixth. Followed by Fear and Patches in seventh and eighth. And then in, what do we got? Ninth position goes to Kuda. Oh, bad, unfortunate run there for Kuda. Slow Motion Fire grabs 10th. Yeah, that's not good for Kuda, who entered week number 1. Kuda 93 entering week number 1. 6th overall on the leaderboard with 76 points. A 9th place finish will not help the cause all that much. And then behind Viral Mist in 12th, sadly, Chaos Fox, also not a favorable final run here in the evening after finishing in, I think it was 7th or 8th, I said there, out at Laguna Seca. And then behind Modern Weapon, Grim in 14th with just the one voluntary disconnect there of Colossal a little bit earlier on in the race. All right. Well, that concludes things here tonight in terms of the racing. But again, don't go anywhere. We will talk to a few of our drivers here in the Driver's Spotlight. I'll preview what's ahead here on the channel in terms of content. And that's how we'll wrap things up. What a swell night. A lot of fun. A lot of fun. Again, stick through the ads if you are a follower of the channel, or if you're just sticking around watching here. If you haven't decided to follow the channel, you will see some ads. That helps people a little bit later on as we talk to some of our drivers in the Driver's Spotlight to avoid the pre-roll. They can get right into the content and learn what's to come here on the channel. And then, of course, those of you who are our subscribers, to include Colossal, who has joined the subscriber count here today, you'll get some tunes to listen to and to dance your emotes to. Use your emotes there in the chat. Get them dancing all around the screen. I'm Dustin Moore. Forza Spec Racing Series week number 2 comes to a conclusion after this short ad break. Appreciate you hanging out. And welcome back to X Venture here live on Twitch TV. Expected nothing less. He's talented and the future is bright for the man, says Connor LHW 2004. Talking about LS Barney, who finished with two P3 finishes, to be redundant with words, both out at Laguna Seca and here at Homestead, the Super Mini Circuit. And wouldn't you know, in the driver's spotlight, we've got LS Barney. First off, Ellis Barney, there's a lot of blame Barney happening in the chat or the Discord here for F4. What's that all about?
I'm actually not sure. I think it's because I stole the queue first.
What do you
I think they're
mean?
all I think they're all mad that they wanted to take an interview first, but I'm the
Oh,
one who got in first.
gotcha. Okay, well, hey, if you're quick on the track and you're quick with the Discord, then to the winner go the spoils, right? P3, two P3 finishes here, both at Laguna Seca and Homestead. Well done. It seemed like you really have that Raptor reeled in, figured out. You were kind of all by yourself. Well, you were really all by yourself at Laguna Seca. Not so much here at Homestead, only because of the constant traffic on the short 9/10 of a mile circuit. But got to be confident after tonight's performance, yeah?
Yeah, it was definitely a much better performance than last week, and hopefully I can get another P3 next week. But
Okay.
yeah, it is definitely much more confidence inspiring than last week.
If there's any track in the Forza Motorsport 7 inventory that makes me feel the least confident than any other, it is VIR, the Virginia International Raceway. You all will be at the West Circuit for 11 laps at night. What does that do to your confidence level?
Well, see, I'm the one who picked that track, so
Oh, yeah, sure you
I'm
did.
I'm trying to be very confident about that track. I would hate to lose on a track that I chose,
I,
but of course, I if luck is against me, then I probably won't get another podium there.
I feel like the blame Barneys are going to be full effect in full effect at that one.
Yeah, they always complain when I choose rain, so instead of rain, I chose night, and they're all complaining about it. I don't know why. They're so picky, is what it is.
They're never satisfied with what you do, whether it be Suzuka in the wet or VIR in the dark. You can't make anybody happy. Not just everybody, but anybody.
Yeah, it's hard to please them. I think really what it is, it's not the track itself, it's just me. They see a track that I choose and just want to complain about it.
Hey, I mean, if they've given you your own blame Barney emote, or I guess an emote referring to you, then I think that speaks volumes to just already they're biased against you.
I mean, clearly it's just what it is, it's just out of love, of course. I mean, Fear, obviously, he loves me the most.
Yeah. uh, what's your sentiment of the truck? Yes, you're doing well here, especially in week number 2 with the two P3 finishes. We're speaking with Ellis Barney here in the driver's spotlight. But what's your overall sentiment with the vehicle? Is it kind of getting to you in a good way or a bad way?
I don't really know. It's kinda odd. For some tracks, I just can't get a handle of it at all, like, what was it, Road America last week.
Yeah.
Then, like, these 2 tracks, I just had it down for some reason. I could just set good lap times that could keep me up in 3rd.
Hmm.
So I think it just really depends more on the track. Sometimes you'll need more rear grip on the truck, and then sometimes you'll need more front grip on the truck, and it just won't give it to you sometimes, but sometimes it will.
Mm-hmm.
So this truck's kind of like a coin flip whenever you go into the week.
Okay. Well, for the viewers, we won't be able to see what side of the coin Barney has flipped here for the F-150 out at VIR and the Le Mans Bugatti circuit. That's what's on tap in week number 3, which I'll be unable to broadcast. But we'll see how well you do when we take a look at the scoreboard heading into week number 4. You've got Connor LHW, who just followed the channel, but then also says, Barney, my man. So I ask you, Barney, any shout outs here tonight?
Yeah, definitely a shout out to Connor and another shout out to my friend uh, Penguin, who he's watching the stream. He just hasn't
Okay.
spoken chat. shout out to both of them for supporting me. I'm glad I got a third for both races that they saw.
Yeah, impressing, that's for sure. Because Connor even went so far to say that where was the comment? There was, I don't know why it's missing me here. Expected nothing less. He's talented, and the future is bright for this man. Says Connor. I'm guessing regarding your FM4, or excuse me, your Forza Motorsport endeavors.
Well, I think the future being bright and me being talent is kind of a little overstating, but it's definitely. I'm glad he has confidence in me.
Well, in a league where everybody's blaming Barney, you might as well take the kudos where you can get them, right?
Exactly. If they're gonna blame me, they might as well blame me while I'm sitting on the podium.
Colossals even going so far as to say, in before someone makes a blame Barney livery. Ooh.
Oh, it's too late for that. The Scirocco's there's a blame Barney livery.
Was there one? I'm trying to remember that. Everybody vividly remembers the Scirocco season, and for me, that one just seemed like a blur. So I don't know. But anyway, great work here tonight, Barney. Again, P3 finish out at Laguna Seca, Homestead Mini, trying to take that momentum into week number 3. I would say that I'll see you there, but hoping to see you in week number 4.
I'll see you week number 4.
Alrighty. All right, the second of the 2 light speed esports drivers here in the FM4 series, and it is the driver who has now 4 victories to his name here in season 47. The domination just continues. It is LS Subaru, but Subaru again, in particular here at Homestead. The last couple of laps, Cratrim was able to get around you for a short stint there. Uh, I asked you earlier if that had you biting your fingernails. Of course, you got your hands on the controller, but a little nervous there at Homestead.
Yeah, I made a mistake in like the second half of the race. Then I almost sim twitched and spun my car out, but
Hmm.
thankfully I didn't have any throttle input on, so I was able to save the car. That of course cost me a position to Criterium, so I had to really get my head down and try and catch up to him because yeah, it was a very tough race. Just like Laguna Seca, Criterium is really fast in this Ford F-150, so it's providing really tough competition. But I was able to get past, and with some defensive driving, I was able to at least keep him at bay for the remaining few laps left.
Talking about the LS Subaru who got the win out at Laguna Seca and here at Homestead. Laguna Seca, that was a pretty comfortable drive, despite the fact that you had Cratrim hot on the tailgate there. I say comfortable in the fact that not as much back markers lap traffic to deal with. 42 laps around a 9/10 of a mile Homestead Super Mini. A lot of back markers to navigate. So at least from your perspective, how did everybody do if you had to grade the lap traffic?
Uh, everyone did fine. There was a lot of lap traffic that I had to get through.
Yeah.
If I was to rate it like you want me to, I would have to say, probably like an 8 out of 10.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I'll say that's like an equivalent to an A minus.
Yep.
There we go.
I'll say that. Yeah.
If we're gonna give it a letter grade, yeah. At least from our vantage point here on the broadcast, everything seemed to go great. It was definitely getting iffy with the traffic and Cratrium right there on you there for those last few laps. It was kind of like the perfect storm, but obviously you managed to come away with the win. If there was one race looking at the remainder of the schedule here, the 5 races that we have left, is there one that you would bet against LS Subaru? Would you ever bet against yourself? Proverbial, not even proverbially speaking, figuratively speaking, would you bet against yourself?
Uh, I'd probably have to say Maple Valley in the rain. That'll
Yeah.
be a very unpredictable race. And I don't, yeah, anything could happen in that one more than any of the other races that we are yet to race at.
Yeah. Um, uh, Qualifying, you and Cratrium have kind of split qualifying here throughout the season. Well, actually, not even Cratrium really, because Born as Ghost grabbed one of them, I do believe. there in week number 1. Is there anything that you're going to do in terms of kind of ensuring that you have the top qualifying time? Or, as you alluded to earlier, your confidence really lies in your ability to churn out laps consistently. And so whether or not you're in P1, that's not really a concern.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and mess with the tune some more, or either that or put in more time into learning how this car drives, because there has to be something that's not really jiving with my driving style in
Hmm.
this car. So I'll have to go back and see if it's either the tune or if it's just the way I'm driving it.
Okay. Okay. Talking with LS Subaru, 4 wins here in season 47 of the 4 races that have taken place, and has the last 5 championships dating back to season 43. So has really done a number on the competition here. Certainly, if you think you have a chance to have a go at LS Subaru, join the Forza Spec Racing Series here, reddit.com/r/FM4. And even though at this point in the season you will not be in the running for the championship, it's always good to see additional competition out there on the track. LS Subaru, I guess maybe my penultimate question to you, because I have another one, is just we've got 5 races here to go. You've won the first 4 here of 9 in season 47. No driver yet in the Forza Spec Racing Series has been able to sweep. So again, I ask you, I know we've done this a number of times throughout the previous seasons. Will you go all the way through the 9 races if you get to a point where you've already mathematically achieved the championship?
Yes. My goal for this season was to get that Golden Broom award, but Craytrim has been proving it to be a very difficult achievement to get to that. So I have to work pretty hard in order to actually get that award, if I can even get to it.
It's an elusive one. I know you voluntarily have backed out of some seasons, a couple of seasons, or I think maybe at least one. There was like a fuel issue which kept you from winning a race. So, can LS Subaru be the first driver of all the things that you've accomplished to date in FM4? You would be the first driver to win all 9 races in a single season to get that Golden Broom award that I've mocked up, but then have put back into the closet because just nobody's gotten close, at least to this point. You're going to try to make that happen. Any shout outs here, LS Subaru, for the evening? Or I guess for you, the early morning.
Well, actually, now it's afternoon because it's 12:02 p.m. Um,
He's racing in the future,
Shout out
folks.
to, yeah, I'm in the future. That's how I can tell the conditions for these races.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to LS as always. Shout out to Slow Motion 5 for the livery and for also organizing this entire series. Shout out to Craytrim for providing such great fun and competitive racing between us two. And I guess shout out to you too, Dustin, as well, for streaming this whole series
Oh, yeah.
and putting it on the map for everyone to see and maybe motivate them to participate, I
Well,
suppose.
I will refute the whole putting it on the map. Slow and team have done a fantastic job dating back to Forza Motorsport 4, long before I came along, and they've just done a great job keeping it going, and to be a part of it from a broadcast standpoint, to give people a chance to have visibility to this series, I think is the best contribution that I could possibly provide. But the whole establishing FM4 had come long before me, but I appreciate that. LS Subaru, well done. I won't be here for week number 3, but best of luck to you there in week number 3 to continue on the winning streak, and look forward to seeing you there in week 4.
Thank you.
All right. And speaking of slow motion fire, I can't see, this happened last week too. Hold on. This happened last week where, for whatever reason, I lose the ability to drag and drop people in the Discord, but there it works. Slow motion fire, just mentioning you here with LS Subaru, thanking you for putting the league on for 47 seasons now. Crazy to think about. 5 weeks of racing for 47 seasons in total is just a remarkable span of time. Oh, and Slow Motion Fire removed himself. Can you hear me slow? Maybe not. Maybe he inadvertently went into the queue for interview section. Let me know there in the chat. Oh, how about now? Test, test. He's doing this to me on purpose. I swear. I can't even see a microphone next to your name there, Slow. It's like you're there, but you're not. You can't hear me? Okay. Well, we'll try again. We'll try again another day. I was gonna say we're graced with Slow Motion Fire's presence. Usually we get you like maybe at the
I
beginning
can
of the
hear you
season.
now, Dustin. I
Oh,
can
there
hear
we
you
go.
now.
Perfect. Was it my fault or yours? Just say it was yours.
I have no idea. I changed nothing but left and came back, and now it seems to work.
Awesome. Very good. Another great week here of racing in the 2017 Ford F-150 Raptor. Of course, I think you would probably have wished it had been maybe a little bit better. You guys had a great battle there mid-pack. You ended up in 10th position, I think, out here at Homestead, the mini circuit. And then it looks like, what was that, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, ninth position there at Laguna Seca. So maybe not as bad as I was making it out to be.
Yeah, I had a better run at Homestead there. I was clear up to, I think, top 5 at one point, and then
Yeah.
just kind of through a series of small mistakes, kept working my way backwards, unfortunately. But yeah, had a good battle with everybody along the way as I fell downward.
A few missteps you mentioned. I think we just caught a very small glimpse of you going headfirst into the tire barrier, coming off of the back straightaway. What happened there?
I just ran too wide, and it was just wide enough that it caught the wall. Didn't really do anything major, but it was enough to bring me to a stop there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and of course you guys had, because no pits here at the Homestead Super Mini Circuit, things were not set up to have any simulated damage, mechanically speaking, just tire and fuel, tire wear and fuel degradation. But all in all, was it every bit as exciting as maybe you would think it would be? A 42 lapper around a 9/10 of a mile circuit, which is basically just kind of an oblong oval, and you're coming off of the slightly cambered or angled back straightaway, dropping down onto the apron, carrying a lot of speed into those left-handers. It seemed like it was fun, but of course it was pretty chaotic too with all the cars.
yeah, both corners there was a couple different lines you could take. The fast line left you open on the inside for somebody to dive you, so you kind of had to watch that when you were running in a group. And it was just a race of who could make the fewest mistakes.
Yeah.
The guys that finished near the front ran consistently, and those of us that kind of fell down the pack, we were the ones that were making little mistakes that just every little bit dropped you that much.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we knew going into that race that it was something different after the road courses that were Watkins Glen, Road America, and Laguna Seca, really kind of switching things up there at the Super Mini Circuit. Of course, you go back to the more twisty, turny roads of road courses there with VIR. I think it's the East Circuit, or is it the West Circuit? It is the West Circuit for 11 laps at night, and then the Le Mans Bugatti Circuit for 16 laps. Based off of your experience in the first 3 races, if we take the race number 4 here tonight out of the equation, are you feeling pretty good about those, or are you gonna have to make some adjustments either to the truck or your driving style?
I think Le Mans is going to be the Bugatti circuit is
Yeah.
going to be kind of in keeping with some of the tracks we've run already. VIR is going to be a challenge because we're running the Grand West layout, I believe it is the long 4 mile track, and the section in the middle of that is just it's tight, it's twisty, it's blind. Nobody has that portion of the track memorized, so I think we're going to see kind of similar to Homestead, where it's going to be the guys that don't make mistakes and can nail that section are going to finish ahead of the people that struggle there.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see what the results are. Again, I say this mostly for the viewers' awareness that won't be available for week number 3 in terms of coverage here on Xventure. We'll be back for week number 4, which takes place out at Sebring, Full, and then Maple Valley, which, as LS Subaru had said, that'll be an interesting one. The full circuit in reverse with a chance of rain. It's not It's not for certain, but it is a good chance of rain there. And that one all leading up to the 90 lapper out there at Long Beach, the East Route, which is the shorter track. Why not the full Long Beach circuit there? Slow?
We'd already run an endurance race at the full
True.
layout of Long Beach, so just
True.
kind of figured we'd mix it up a little bit, and we didn't know how much of a car turnout we'd have this season, so we figured the smaller track might provide a little more exciting racing through the whole endurance.
My goal is by week 5 here, we've miraculously filled the lobby with 23 drivers. Then you guys have to enjoy the experience of Long Beach East.
Every minute of it. We can have a full grid for the endurance. That'd be spectacular.
Yeah, it's great seeing some of the new names out here. I know Colossal was out there for the first race at Laguna Seca, voluntarily dropped out at Homestead after a partway through. But don't let any of your skill discourage you, or what you perceive to be skill or lack thereof, from being a participant here in FM4. It's good to see the numbers trending up slightly. I mean, obviously we could go back down any one of these weeks, but to see us at about 15 drivers, that seems like about the average for as long as I've been broadcasting. And if we get closer, treading closer to 20, that'd be awesome. Slow motion fire. I'm trying to think if there is another. Oh, what are you guys blaming Barney for there in Discord? What's that all about?
The VIR. That was his
Of course.
pick, doing Grand West at night. So that's what he's getting full blame for.
Everybody, you guys got done with Homestead, and everybody goes, "Oh no, our first race of week 3, VIR in the dark." He thought it was because he got into the driver spotlight first. I didn't think that was the case.
No.
Nobody cares that much to talk to me.
That is not the reason he's getting blamed.
He's very half full kind of guy there with that
Yeah,
assumption.
That's wishful thinking right there.
Awesome. All right. Well, so motion fire, like the drivers before you here in the driver spotlight, and to conclude things here in week number 2, what shout outs do you got for the night?
Shout out to everybody that tuned in to watch live, and
Yeah.
shout out to all of you that tune in after the fact to watch the replay. It's great to see the counts trending up, and hopefully you're all enjoying the show.
Yeah, and sadly, for those of you who were curious at the end of week number 1 there, because I did allude to the fact that I'd have a rerun going right after the stream. As it so turns out, Twitch has ditched the rerun capability. So sadly, I can't run it back live. Otherwise, I would. It never bothered me to have that going after the live broadcast, but that feature, for whatever reason, inexplicably, I'm not even going to try to say the word, unbeknownst to me, has disappeared from my dashboard. And I've noticed that there's an article about it, so I know it's not just been moved. It's just completely gone. So sadly, I can't run it back live, but if you'd like to watch it, the videos are always available on demand here at twitch.tv/xventure/ I think it's videos. And then you can also check them out on YouTube. I upload them there so that they can live forever, because Twitch does eventually delete my VODs after like 90 days. So here on Twitch for a limited time, and then over on YouTube, let me see if I can get the YouTube command figured out. Yep, there it is. Head on over to that link that Nightbot just provided. Slow motion fire, thank you so much. I know you're going to keep things up and running here for week number 3, despite my departure, but I look forward to coming back here in week 4 and seeing what excitement we have in the remaining 3 races.
Yeah, we'll catch you week number 4, Dustin. Thanks for putting on the show.
Absolutely. All right, folks. Well, there it is. I've already done quite a few shameless promotions here. But I might as well continue it, because really, I think I feel like there's some good things happening in terms of awareness to the broadcast, and of course, to the continued showing of new participants. I mean, we've got quite a few of them here in season 47 with Jube and Colossal CC, and I know I'm missing another one, but and of course the drivers who have come back after a little bit of a break from FM4. Here are the shameless promos at the end of today's stream, is that head on over to reddit.com/r/FM4. I know the link is just up above, but in case you just got here, there's the link provided by Nightbot. If you are curious about participating, head on over to that subreddit, introduce yourself. Perhaps you get the vehicle set up. Just follow the steps in terms of upgrading the vehicle. and try it out for yourself in single player offline. And if you're like, man, this is actually kind of cool racing this 2017 F-150 Raptor, then sign up to race the remaining races here in the season. No, you won't be in the running for the championship because of the drop week rule. There's just not enough weeks remaining, enough races in place for you to have a run at the championship. That being said, it is an awesome opportunity for you to get familiar, get acquainted with some of the drivers, figure out who you are going to maybe be competing more closely with, who those similarly skilled drivers are, and sets you up nicely for season 48, which should be happening in about a month and a week's time or so. There at the latter part of August, I think, is when season 48 will get kicked off. So great way to get prepared for the racing in season 48, whatever that vehicle may be. The champion decides what the next vehicle is going to be. It'll be a new vehicle, new schedule of tracks, but a good opportunity for you to get in now and foster that relationship, get familiar with the folks. As Colossal says there, absolutely do it. Friendly bunch, even to the lower skilled. Can't say it better myself. That's a great line there from Colossal, who just recently joined. So if you're going to take it from anybody, take it from somebody who is just committed to being a part of the fun. Jubance also said, had a great time racing, one lap up from 10th place. Yes, I saw and I called out your follow earlier in the stream. I know you had followed earlier this afternoon before the stream even got started. So Jube, thank you so much. And yes, you did a great job out there today. Looking forward to getting you on camera again in the coming races. Well done there in the top 10. And I hope it continues for you here through the remainder of the season. All right, so plugged FM4. Also, if you are new to the channel, we had Connor LHW give a follow here not too long ago. Colossal CC with the subscription. Born as Ghost with the subscription. Jube, who I just mentioned, also with the follow here today. If you're not yet following the channel, just click that follow button. It's really the most I ask of you, and really it makes it easier for you to find the channel when I do go live next with FM4. If it's some other content that I do on Fridays, Saturdays at times, and then on Sundays, love for you to be able to easily find the channel moving forward and not have to try to dig through the directories to find it again. Also, find me over on Twitter, and I say find me, but really there's the link, twitter.com/xventure, EXEVENTURE. It is the same name as I have here on Twitch. Give that a follow. Really hoping that maybe my new tactic with putting out quick little clips, encouraging folks to come join the stream, to come join FM4. Hopefully those maybe resonate a little bit more with people than just plain text. If they see somebody speaking to them and saying, hey, you should really join this thing, hopefully that definitely encourages them to do so. And by you following and liking and retweeting these posts, if you don't mind, certainly helps with the algorithm in terms of penetrating further with those posts to the Forza community. Definitely trying to direct it toward that audience and at least get people to come to the stream first. And then if by watching the racing they go, yes, I want to be an FM4, then awesome. That's a great conversion right there. So follow me. If you can, like and retweet or comment whatever it is that you like to do over there on the Twitters. I'll be happy to have your support there. And then, as I mentioned, the rerun capability here on Twitch has gone away, so I won't be having a rerun immediately following this broadcast. But yes, you can watch the video on demand for the next 90 days, and then it will live maybe for an eternity on YouTube. So there's the link there for YouTube. It's youtube.com/user/SE Media Productions. So there you go. Oliver 000 23. Hello to you. Glad to have you join in the chat. I'm sorry that I'm colluding the stream, but Oliver, thank you for the hello there, and hope to see you back here on the channel again sometime soon. Like I said, I will be unavailable for the week 3 racing that is taking place out at VIR, Virginia International Raceway, and Le Mans Bugatti Circuit, but I will be back for week number 4 and week number 5. It just so happens that throughout the year, these things come up where I'm unavailable on Tuesdays, But I will be back, and we'll have more green to checker coverage for races 7, 8, and then the finale in week number 9, which is 2 weeks from tonight. Yeah, we just have two weeks before the finale. It's crazy. It's crazy. Oliver says, saw your post on the forums. It's a bit late for me at the moment, sadly, but I wanted to shoot a follow and hopefully catch you on the next one. There we go. Success. And I appreciate the follow as well. Thank you. Thank you. Good evening. The VOD will be up. Yeah, exactly. There you go. Slow Motion Fire just letting you know that the video on demand will be available. So even if at this time of the day or time of the night, it's way too late for you, you can always catch up on all things FM4 on demand and on YouTube. All right, that's enough of the pandering, the shilling, the shameless promotion that I'll put forth here tonight. Well, actually, no, I'm completely lying. I'm bold-faced lying to you all. My next broadcast will be this Friday, starting at 5 p.m. Eastern, and I am going to do a little bit of what I call an accelerator stream. It's just a way for me to help try to move through a single-player game a little bit quicker. Typically, I play these on Sundays, but as it so happens here this coming weekend, that stream will happen on Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern, and then again on Saturday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern. It is my Death Stranding Director's Cut playthrough. And of course, you can watch all of those streams up to this point. I think I have 6 in total. You can catch all of those on demand. Having a lot of fun in Death Stranding. And so that'll be Friday, Saturday, and then I'll be back again a week and a half from tonight on a Friday, a Sunday, and then week number 4 of the Forza Spec Racing Series. That takes place on July 19th with the finale on the 26th. Much appreciated all the support today, the follows, the subscriptions, the chat, the drivers, Windswept Dragon, the moderator over at Turn 10 Studios, for dropping in, saying hello. I hope you all have a good week. I don't know that this statement really makes any sense, but it seems like a well-meant statement. I have good intentions behind it. Be happy, be healthy, and especially be kind to one another. Until next time, y'all take care. Have a lovely week. Adios. Goodbye.